Long in the past, Coyote was walking with his friend Iktomi, the Spider-Man. It was a hot day, so they stopped near a large, inviting rock. "Let's rest," Coyote said, "on this beautiful rock." So he took his blanket and he spread it out on the rock, and the two of them relaxed and took in the afternoon sun. After a while, they decided to move on. But Coyote knew that this was a magical rock, and he could certainly use all the magic he could get. So he gave the blanket to the rock. Well, the rock was very happy. He'd been sitting out in the rain and snow and cold for many years, and now he had a fine blanket to protect him. So Coyote and Iktomi set off, and after walking for a while, the sky filled with clouds, and it started to rain on them. They hid under some bushes, but it was no use. Coyote was getting soaked. He couldn't believe it. Here he was, getting wet, while the old rock was warm and dry under his blanket. "Iktomi," he said, "please go and borrow back my blanket. Tell the rock I'll return it when it stops raining." So Iktomi went back to the rock. "My friend has changed his mind," Iktomi said. "He needs the blanket to stay dry, but he'll return it when the rain stops." Well, the rock didn't like this very much, but he figured that since Coyote had been nice enough to give him the blanket, he'd be nice and let Coyote borrow it back for a while. Iktomi returned with the blanket, and Coyote dried himself off as the storm passed overhead. When it was clear again, they continued on their way. "You didn't return the blanket," Iktomi said. "Yes," Coyote admitted. "That old rock's been in the rain and snow for many years. He's used to it, and he won't miss my blanket." Well, they continued walking along until they began to hear thunder. It kept getting louder and louder, and closer. When Coyote looked behind them, he saw that the rock was rolling toward them. Iktomi quickly spun a web and jumped up into a tree, but Coyote started to run. He ran and ran as fast as he could, but the rock followed him up and down hills and across a river until finally Coyote started to get tired. And as soon as he slowed down, bam, the rock rolled right over him. It flattened him right out and picked the blanket up right off his back, too. It kept on rolling till it found a nice little spot overlooking the river. And there it settled, with Coyote's blanket snugly around its shoulders.